Grand Hood Rising, Kings and Queens, Trap Witch here in Atlanta, Georgia, coming to bring you a new moon reading, new moon in Aries, but also because now officially retrograde's supposed to be over, but we about to move into the shadow of it, you know, little after party, aftermath, something of it, okay? Like my shirt, sage, crystals, and trap music. I'm going to put where I got it from in the bio, in the link, whatever have you, so you can cop it. It's from Quartz and Rainbows on Instagram. I got my cup of Cafe Bustelo here with me. There's a liquid gold. So, with that being said, I want to introduce myself to those of you who don't know me. I am an intuitive healer, spiritual healer on Instagram. I work with people one-on-one, but I also work with the collective, and I provide healing words, healing advice to help people as they're moving through their spiritual evolution on this plane. They call me the Trap Witch, but most recently people are calling me Mama Trap, and I kind of like that. So Mama Trap, you know, the Trap Witch, whatever have you. My real name is Tatiana, and I hope that whatever you aim to get from this, hopefully you get it, and hopefully it touches a part of you that you might be needing to get through a day, get through a week, get through a month, get through a time period of your life that you might be struggling. But the way that I like to put it now is that I don't like to look at things as struggles anymore. I like to look at things as slow success. So with that being said, we're gonna get into this moon, this Aries new moon, illumination, forecast, whatever have you. However you're gonna be using this energy now going into this coming week, right? Because we're in the shadow of Mercury retrograde, and this one has been a sneaky motherfucker, if I do say so myself. Like, you know, it's been very sneaky. It's been like catching a lot of people off guard, like, oh, you thought you was done healing? Nah, come again. So I want to ask what new things we can put in place, definitely going forward with this energy that we're in, and how we can move past some of the things that we should be sweeping out. Maybe some of y'all are tuning in, haven't swept out shit. Maybe that's why Mercury was dragging your ass. I don't know. But either way, we're going to get into it. I'm going to be reading from the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck. I'll pull 5 cards, and then I will pull an Archangel card from the Doreen Virtue Archangel deck, okay? So if you can, get yourself comfortable, get yourself a notebook. You might want to take notes. I heard that supposedly I'll be dropping wisdom and shit, some jewels along the way. We're gonna see what comes up through this and see how it can help you in your personal evolution. So let's go ahead and, you know, crack your neck. I be cracking my shit and everything, you know. So crack your neck, relax yourself, get centered. We about to get into these cards now. You ready? We about to take flight. Y'all hear the planes above. Whew. Spirit, I call you in on behalf of the collective, and I ask for the highest good of all those involved with harm to none. I ask Alegua to open the roads to precise messages. We ask at this time, what is it subconsciously underlying below the surface beyond the veil that can facilitate in their highest good at this time? Allow them to overcome barriers and obstacles to facilitate growth and help them on their personal spiritual evolution through this plane. We ask right now, with the energies currently in the new moon of Aries and now moving into the shadow period of Mercury retrograde, what can the collective do now most to facilitate what it is that they need to take away from this time period and this energy to use it to their utmost potential so that they can move forward with good intention and proper execution? Where do they need to point their attention now so that they can be of good first and foremost to themselves and secondly to others? We call in the assistance of my Egun, my ancestors, my spirit guides of benevolence only, and we ask, please assist us in guiding me to facilitate a message that can help the collective at this time with what they might be going through, what they're dealing with, and how to make their next moves. Ashe. Let's stop right there. Oof. And y'all better not laugh at my cards. My cards be going through it because I love them so much. Okay. Like I said, we pulled 5 cards. Okay. Let's get into the first card. This card has been through it. The Shango card. Who is Shango? Shango in the Afro-Cuban or West African Yoruba traditions is an Orisha of passion, justice, and balance. He is the epitome of the alpha male, the divine masculine. And this is so beautiful because all through the beginning of Mercury retrograde, and even also the moon, the Libra full moon that we had right in the middle of it, up until last week, where I made a video, the last video on my channel, Crone Ascension, particularly aimed at women, and even before that, what to keep in the last part of Mercury retro, what to keep in mind. It has been this divine masculine energy, okay? Shango is the epitome of the divine masculine. In the practice of, you know, Yoruba tradition, a lot of men want to be Shango because Shango is that dude. He's a ladies' man. And a lot of my readings have been talking about this like bachelor type energy that we're moving from, okay? Men and women alike. And it's so funny Shango comes up as the first card because Shango had a problem committing to one woman, okay? He had 3 female counterparts, which were Oya, Oshun, and Oba. They all had different personalities and character types, but not to get too far into that, Shango had a hard time being committed to one woman, okay? And I want to look at this as us having a hard time committing to a certain type of creative energy that we might need to get into moving forward. Because Shango, he's such a beautiful energy because the only thing that gets in Shango's way is himself. And so with this energy coming up in the first card, it said, a lot of you, the only person that gets in your way is yourself. And a lot of times you can get in your own way when you have a hard time committing to one type of potential creative energy that's in your highest good, okay? In that card, it talks about how Shango, nothing brings forth nobility much like tragedy or disaster, okay? And some of you, I don't know if you have an ego, I don't know if that masculine energy is stubborn, you haven't been moving with honesty, integrity, and to the utmost of your best potential, but that card says when Shango acts in the negative aspects of the divine masculine, everybody suffers. So not only does he suffer, but everybody suffers. So think about this, right? With this new moon energy and going forward, how are you using what you do and what you're trying to create in this world to benefit not only yourself, but secondly others, right? Because how we do things does directly affect other people, whether we believe it or not. Even if you are an introvert, and you are always to yourself, when you go out into the world, because you're so used to your own ways and how you want to do things, it can affect your experiences with other people, and it can make other people uncomfortable. And it's not even necessarily that you can't be a little bit more extroverted, but you have to make the adjustments to do so. Because in this existence, we cannot just close ourselves off, because we're going to have interactions with other beings, okay? And so when we have these interactions with other beings, we have to make sure that we do our best, that everybody wins, okay? So what are you doing? What are you doing so that everybody wins. That divine masculine energy says you don't need to move in your ego. It's not always about you. Okay? It is about you, but it's not about you. Because we are one with the collective. Meaning that how you live your life directly has a domino effect of every person that you come into contact with. So how have you been moving? How have you been living? Right? Do you not want to commit to creating better energy that affects everybody in a positive way? Because Alofi comes up as the second card. Alofi is shown as this energy that is pregnant with the earth in her stomach. And it talks about giving birth to the existence that you want to live in, okay? The power to manifest change through your own ashe. And what is ashe? Is your own God-given power. So look at how that ties to the first card. How do you expect to create an existence that is pleasant to live in if you're always in your ego and it is always about you, and you're not committed to creating a good existence around you, that everybody that comes into power, everybody that comes into contact with your power is positively affected, okay? A lot of times we don't realize that we think that we're certain types of way, but we're really not. I'll tell you personally about myself. For a long time, from the time I was a teenager, I was very unpleasant. I was very miserable. I was very unapproachable. And I remember going to the supermarket with my mother in the morning, and I wouldn't smile at anyone. People would talk to me, and I'd have a nasty demeanor because I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't want to open up to people. And people would always say to my mom, "What's wrong with your daughter?" And over time, I realized that what I thought was intolerance to the world was me denying myself certain things, because that's not truly who I was. I don't know what triggered me at some point to become that person, but that wasn't even who I was as a being, because now I look at myself out here living my best life, flourishing, because I put myself out there. I no longer guarded myself from energies because I'm become confident in who I am and the power that I have, and how anybody I come into contact with, I have the ability to change their energy based on my energy, okay? A lot of people don't realize that. I saw this quote last night. It said, I kept planting negative plants, and I had to realize that they require too much attention, and I don't have time for that. And I love that quote, because things that are organic and that are beautiful and full of love, they don't require constant attention. Look at when we plant seeds of negativity and we project ill will, we project bitterness, we project animosity, we project all of these things, right? Isn't that what comes back to us? If you look at people who often stay in drama, right, or they stay in the mix of things, it's because there's something of them that's projecting, and that's what's being planted, and that's what's growing, and that's what's coming back to them, and it requires constant upkeep and attention. And it's the truth. You have better things to do. You have time to enjoy more of life and more of the beautiful things if you plant seeds that reciprocate freedom. Okay? The thing about Shango, I love that energy in the beginning, but at some point he projected a lot of bitterness, animosity. He was a tyrant, and he would fight for sport at times, okay? When those are not his most beautiful aspects. Those are not his most organic aspects. When you think about passion and justice and balance, these things that he does represent, why not put your passions to the things that bring beauty to this world? Why not put your passion into the things that make your power appreciated, that other people can also appreciate too, because that's what you're here to do. It's a servitude. So the third card is the Deluge card, which is the Tower card, okay? I love when the Tower card comes up because it's like, motherfucker, you got shit to work on. I always love that when the Tower comes up, we think that we can build life on these false things, right? And expect them to last, and they won't. A lot of us are trying to build a life on this falsehood, masks, protective things, putting up all this stuff because we don't want to get hurt, or we don't want to be vulnerable, or we don't want to put ourselves out there. And the thing is, when you are so much more confident in who you are as a being and your power, it's going to take a lot more for you to get hurt. When you develop your emotional intelligence, when you develop your spiritual stamina, you will realize that not much can stop you. Okay, not much is going to stop you. And so the Tower says you got some shit that are false that you need to break down before you build anything more. And what I said at the beginning of this Mercury retrograde is that a lot of masks are about to fall off. Okay? I've been seeing a lot of things in media where people's masks are falling off, and they're being forced to shed facets of themselves that have been cultivated out of a place of negativity. And a lot of people are trying to redeem themselves, and they're trying to say, let me prove to you this is not who I really am. Okay? And so that's the thing. The fourth card is Agwe, which is this boat. The boat is at a standstill. You can't go forward on your journey as far as you want to go until you take the mask off. That's the Empress card, okay? But I love she's walking through the village with a mask on to protect herself, right? But look, it's reverse. I always tell people, you draw more attention to yourself. If I were to walk outside here and sit down here right now with a mask on, it draws more attention to me, doesn't it? Because you're more intrigued. You're more like, oh my God, why is this person outside walking around with a mask on? Why don't they have their face on? We always look to the mask. And so you don't realize that people, the wrong people especially, are drawn to our masks. Especially the false ones that we put up that's not truly based on what we have in our innermost potential and what would be best to exude to do what it is that we came to do on this mission. And so a lot of us don't realize that Mercury retrograde has been breaking down so many falsehoods, because it says it's time to really build shit that's on authenticity, integrity, your true passions, and things that are going to truly bring you to justice and bring balance to your life. You can't balance on anything that is false. Think about this, right? Look at a table. A table's has 4 legs usually, right? What if one of those legs breaks? And you don't want to go back to the store where you went and get the real leg to balance it back out. So instead what you do is you go and you rig something else into it, right? Yeah, it might hold it up temporarily, but that's not what's true to that table. And so most likely it's going to have a hard time holding itself up and it's have a hard time balancing. And it's just not going to be organic in the flow of that structure, the flow of that structure of that table, right? So ask yourself, what in you right now are you forcing in within you that is not organic or authentic to your structure, that at any time has the potential to collapse, right? I had to say this the other day to myself. I had this grand epiphany during retrograde that there are people in my life that have been true to my they've been true to who I've been from the beginning. But I realize I've gone through a lot of friendships that were forcing me to shed false aspects of myself. because I wasn't being real with myself. So Spirit has the tendency to put situations and people in your life that pass through seasonally and cause disruption and cause chaos and cause all these things, because it's there to shed facets of yourself that are false, that are fake, not authentic to truly who you are and the power that you have to give. So know that if you're being fake with yourself and you're being fake with other people, you're going to continue to attract fake shit. Okay? You're going to continue to attract fake shit. So, let's go ahead and pull an angel card. Teaching and learning. Archangel Zadkiel, keep an open mind and learn new ideas, then teach these ideas to others. Okay? Immediately I get leading by example. Sometimes we never have the true people that want to fall in line with where we are going on our journey, because what we are projecting is not true. Okay? Right now, I have to look at this. For a long time, I had the wrong people in my life because I just didn't speak my fucking truth. I just was so bothered, like, to not really put out who I was out there. I've always been this person that had wisdom and had all of these things. But every time I tried to project that, the people that were around me didn't appreciate it. So instead of me saying, okay, maybe these aren't my people, I would close myself off. And so at some point, I kept saying, no, this isn't right, this is wrong. I'm not supposed to be with these people. I'm not here, because those who appreciate your power and truly who you are, you have something to teach them. They have something to learn. There's a mutual respect, and there's a sense of attracting true, authentic tribe. And right now, it's like, what do you have to offer with your power to this world? What are you going to do in order to make sure that it gets out there? Because once you start becoming bold and brave enough to shed that mask, you'll realize how many false things drop away and how many real things are attracted to you. Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid to truly unmask and say, hey, this is me. This is who I am. I know my potential, and I'm going to continue to exude this power of confidence, right? Because with Shango coming up at the beginning, confidence, the divine masculine, there's a lot of people afraid to embody the divine masculine because you're not going to be a people pleaser anymore. You're not going to say, oh, I'm going to dim myself down. No, that divine masculine energy is going to say, like, Shango there, hey, look at fucking me. Look at what I have to offer. You know, hear me roar. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And so it has to come from a true, authentic place of integrity and honesty, though. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to teach people now who the fuck you are, and how the fuck are you going to learn them, and how are you going to allow them to love you by exuding this power of yours that's been in there all along, that's truly what you're passionate about, truly what's going to bring you justice, and truly what's going to balance your life out and stop you from constantly collapsing on the falsehoods. My crystal dropped. Spirit's like, you better tell them, you better read them. So let's go ahead and do a meditation. Let's do a meditation. Yes. Let me pick up my crystal too. Spirit, we call you in now and we ask, please allow us to relinquish the falsehoods, to drop the masks and be not afraid to be who the fuck we authentically are. Let us exude power. Let us exude confidence. Let us exude an attitude of gratitude that is filled with nothing but goodwill, that we can project out what it is we are here to do with our power in the world so that we can manifest change. Let us relinquish all the things that are false. Let us relinquish any animosity, ill will, any bitterness, anything that is keeping us guarded and feeling like we cannot let down the walls, that we can be protected by the bubble of our own energy, that we are covered, and that when we project what is true, what is authentic, and what is real, that is the ultimate power. Authenticity is a superpower. Integrity is a superpower. Confidence is a superpower. I am no longer afraid of my divine masculine energy, and I relinquish any fear that I have of owning that. May it stay in balance so that it does not cause harm to anyone, that it is not misconstrued, that it is not taken out of context. I ask that I am here to achieve what it is that I am meant to with my purpose. That I will allow my intuition to be a push in the right direction to pull me closer to my purpose. May I no longer go forth in this world with any falsehood and any fakery to constantly attract what is not serving me in my highest good and my mission here through my own ashe and my own God-given power to be a change in this world. Ashe. How y'all feel? I feel good. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoy this. If you would like a one-on-one personal session with me, I offer a multitude of things in my sessions. Come as you are. Come as you please. Just come with an open heart. Come with an open mind. You just come. We pull some cards. I give you some advice. We ain't even got to pull cards, but I'm here to be a guide. I feel like my purpose on this plane is to be a physical, spiritual guide, that spirit moves through me in order to help people come to terms with their own power. There's no problem in owning your power. For a long time, people told me not to own my shit, and guess what? All them motherfuckers gone. But guess what? I stand alone and I stand happy. I stand here encouraging people across all corners of the world, and to that I am humble and I am grateful for that, okay? And so let's work together to cultivate an attitude of gratitude, being confident in our own God-given powers and talents, and truly living your best motherfucking life possible, okay? We out here to flourish. We're not out here to plant seeds of falsehood and negativity and to be living a life full of drama and anger and all that bad shit, okay? So with that being said, if you haven't heard it today, I love you. Okay, because a lot of y'all out here not getting hugged, you're not getting told I love you, and that's a damn shame. So even tomorrow, be brave. Tell a stranger you love them. Even if they don't say it back, it's no chip off your shoulder. You putting out in the world what it is that you want back. Just be love to be loved, and that's how you become beloved. All right, peace, love, sage crystals, and motherfucking trap music, okay? Trap witch, mother trap over here, over and out from Atlanta, Georgia. Love y'all.